Number 25, Titanic. Movie cast: Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. The movie is about the 1912 sinking of the RMS Titanic. The Titanic ship set sail on its maiden voyage from Southampton on April 10, 1912, with 2,240 passengers and crew on board. Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio play characters who are of different social classes. They fall in love after meeting aboard the ship, but it was not good for a rich girl to fall in love with a poor boy in 1912. On April 15, 1912, after striking an iceberg, Titanic broke apart and sank to the bottom of the ocean, taking with it the lives of more than 1,500 passengers and crew. Number 24, The Deer Hunter. Movie cast: Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, and Meryl Streep. Michael, Stephen, and Nick are three best friends who enjoy deer hunting. With the Vietnam War raging, the men enlist to fight for their country. In Vietnam, their dreams of military honor are quickly shattered by the inhumanities of war. They get to know that war is hell and it leaves lasting marks on the men. When the Viet Cong capture them, they force them to play many games of Russian roulette. Number 23, West Side Story. Movie cast: Rita Moreno, Natalie Wood, and Richard Beymer. On the harsh streets of the Upper West Side, two gangs battle for control of the turf. The musical explores the rivalry between the Jets and the Sharks, two teenage street gangs of different ethnic backgrounds. The Sharks, who are recent migrants from Puerto Rico, and the Jets, who are white, vie for dominance of the neighborhood, and the police try to keep order. A musical in which a modern-day Romeo and Juliet are involved in New York street gangs. The situation becomes complicated when a gang member falls in love with a rival's sister. Number 22, Unforgiven. Movie cast: Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, and Gene Hackman. When prostitute Delilah Fitzgerald is disfigured by a pair of cowboys in Big Whiskey, Wyoming, her fellow brothel workers post a reward for their murder. It was much to the displeasure of Sheriff Little Bill, who doesn't allow vigilantism in his town. Two groups of gunfighters, one led by aging, former bandit William Money, the other by the florid English Bob, come to collect the reward, clashing with each other and the sheriff. Number 21, Moonlight. Movie cast: Mahershala Ali, Naomi Harris, and Ashton Sanders. A look at three defining chapters in the life of Kieran, a young black man growing up in Miami. This young African-American boy finds guidance in Juan, a drug dealer who teaches him to carve his own path. As he grows up in Miami, Juan's advice leaves a lasting impression on him. Number 20, Amadeus. Movie cast: Tom Hulce, F. Murray Abraham, and Elizabeth Berridge. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart is a remarkably talented young Viennese composer who unwittingly finds a fierce rival in the disciplined and determined Antonio Salieri. Resenting Mozart for both his hedonistic lifestyle and his undeniable talent, the highly religious, Salieri is gradually consumed by his jealousy and becomes obsessed with Mozart's downfall. This leads to a devious scheme that has dire consequences for both men. Number 19, The Hurt Locker. Movie cast: Jeremy Renner and Anthony Mackie. Brian Gariotti, and Guy Pearce. The Hurt Locker is a gripping war drama set in Iraq, following Staff Sergeant William James and his bomb disposal team. James's unorthodox methods and addiction to the adrenaline rush of defusing bombs create tension within the team. The film explores the psychological toll of war and the complexities of duty and camaraderie. With a tense atmosphere, it offers a powerful portrayal of the realities faced by soldiers on the front lines. The Hurt Locker is a thought-provoking and intense film that highlights the harrowing consequences of war on the human psyche. Number 18, On the Waterfront. Movie cast: Marlon Brando, Carl Malden, and Eva Marie Saint. On the Waterfront is a classic crime drama. The film follows Terry Malloy, an ex-prizefighter turned longshoreman, who becomes entangled in a corrupt union. As Terry witnesses the brutal treatment of his fellow workers and the influence of the mob, he finds himself torn between loyalty and doing what is right. Marlon Brando delivers a powerful performance as Terry, navigating a complex web of loyalty, betrayal, and redemption. This movie is a timeless masterpiece that explores themes of conscience and standing up against injustice. Number 17, No Country for Old Men. Movie cast: Javier Bardem and Josh Brolin. Woody Harrelson and Tommy Lee Jones. This movie is a gripping thriller. Set in the desolate landscapes of Texas, the film revolves around a hunter named Llewellyn Moss, who stumbles upon a drug deal gone wrong and finds a suitcase full of money. As he tries to escape with the cash, he is relentlessly pursued by the ruthless hitman Anton Chigurh. The film, directed by the Coen brothers, is a tense and suspenseful exploration of morality, fate, and the dark underbelly of human nature. It showcases brilliant performances and delivers an unforgettable cinematic experience. Number 16, The Bridge on the River Kwai. Movie cast: Alec Guinness and William Holden. Sessue Hayakawa and Jeffrey Horn. The Bridge on the River Kwai is an epic war film from 1957. Set during World War II, it tells the story of British prisoners of war who are forced by their Japanese captors to construct a bridge in the jungles of Burma. The film explores themes of honor, duty, and the clash of wills as the prisoners of wars, led by Colonel Nicholson, grapple with their captors while unintentionally aiding the enemy. Directed by David Lean, the movie is a masterclass in storytelling and features memorable performances, stunning cinematography, and a powerful score. Number 15, Rocky. Movie cast: Sylvester Stallone, Carl Weathers, and Talia Shire. Rocky is a classic sports drama from 1976. The film follows Rocky Balboa, a small-time boxer who gets a shot at the heavyweight title. With the guidance of his trainer Mickey and the love and support of his girlfriend Adrian, Rocky trains rigorously to face the reigning champion, Apollo Creed. Rocky is a tale of determination, underdog spirit, and the human capacity for resilience. The film received critical acclaim for its heartfelt performances, inspiring story, and iconic training montage, becoming a beloved cultural phenomenon. Number 14, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Movie cast: Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, and Carl Urban. The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King presents the final confrontation between the forces of good and evil fighting for control of the future of Middle-earth. Hobbits, Frodo, and Sam reach Mordor in their quest to destroy the One Ring, while Aragorn leads the forces of good against Sauron's evil army at the Stone City of Minas Tirith. The film combines breathtaking visuals, intense battles, and emotional storytelling. Number 13. It Happened One Night. Movie cast: Clark Gable, Claudette Colbert, and Frank Capra. It Happened One Night is a classic romantic comedy from 1934. The film follows a spoiled heiress named Ellie Andrews, who runs away from her controlling father and meets a charming but cynical journalist named Peter Warren. As they embark on a cross-country journey together, their initially tumultuous relationship evolves into something more. Directed by Frank Capra, this delightful film showcases witty banter, charming performances by Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, and a heartwarming story of unexpected love blossoming in the most unlikely circumstances. Number 12. Midnight Cowboy. Movie cast: Jon Voight, Dustin Hoffman, and Brenda Vaccaro. Midnight Cowboy, 1969, is a gritty drama that follows Joe Buck, a naive Texan who dreams of becoming a successful gigolo in New York City. He befriends Ratso Rizzo, a crippled con man, and they form an unlikely bond as they navigate the harsh realities of urban life. Directed by John Schlesinger, this poignant film explores themes of friendship, loneliness, and the pursuit of the American dream in a captivating and poignant manner. Number 11. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Movie cast: Jack Nicholson, Louise Fletcher, and Danny DeVito. This movie is a powerful drama set in a mental institution. Randall McMurphy fakes insanity to avoid prison. He gets transferred for evaluation from a prison farm to a mental institution. He assumes it will be a less restrictive environment. But the martinet nurse Ratched runs the psychiatric ward with an iron fist, keeping her patients cowed through abuse, medication, and sessions of electroconvulsive therapy. The battle of wills between the rebellious McMurphy and the inflexible Ratched soon affects all the ward's patients. Number 10. Gone with the Wind. Movie cast: Vivien Leigh, Clark Gable, and Olivia de Havilland. This is an epic historical romance set during the American Civil War. The film follows Scarlett O'Hara, a headstrong Southern belle, as she navigates love, loss, and the changing world around her. Against the backdrop of the war, Scarlett's relationships with Rhett Butler and Ashley Wilkes drive the narrative. It tells the tale of Scarlett O'Hara and the three loves of her life: Tara, her family plantation, Ashley Wilkes, and Rhett Butler. Through three husbands and one child, Scarlett uses all of her might to preserve Tara through the destruction of the American Civil War. Number 9. Schindler's List. Movie cast: Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes, Ben Kingsley, and Embeth Davidtz. Businessman Oskar Schindler arrives in Krakow in 1939, ready to make his fortune from World War II, which has just started. After joining the Nazi Party, primarily for political expediency, he staffs his factory with Jewish workers for similarly pragmatic reasons. When the SS begins exterminating Jews in the Krakow ghetto, Schindler arranges to have his workers protected to keep his factory in operation, but soon realizes that in so doing, he is also saving innocent lives. Based on a true story about a German businessman who saves over 1,000 Jewish lives during the Holocaust. Number 8. The Apartment. Movie cast: Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred McMurray. Insurance worker C.C. Baxter lends his Upper West Side apartment to company bosses to use for extramarital affairs. When his manager, Mr. Sheldrake, begins using Baxter's apartment in exchange for promoting him, Baxter is disappointed to learn that Sheldrake's mistress is Fran Kubelik, the elevator girl at work whom Baxter is interested in himself. Soon, Baxter must decide between the girl he loves and the advancement of his career. The Apartment, 1960, is a classic romantic comedy drama. Number 7. The French Connection. Movie cast: Gene Hackman, Roy Scheider, and Eddie Egan. The French Connection is a gritty crime thriller directed by William Friedkin. Based on true events, the film follows New York City, detectives, Jimmy, Popeye, Doyle, and Buddy, Cloudy, Russo, as they relentlessly pursue a French drug smuggling operation. Their investigation becomes increasingly dangerous and complex, leading to intense car chases and a tense showdown. With a realistic and immersive portrayal of police work, compelling performances by Gene, Hackman, and Roy Scheider, and a suspenseful atmosphere, The French Connection remains a benchmark in the genre of crime cinema. Number 6, The Godfather. Movie cast: Al Pacino and Marlon Brando, James Caan, Diane Keaton, and Robert De Niro. The Godfather is a legendary crime drama. Don Vito Corleone, head of a mafia family, decides to hand over his empire to his youngest son, Michael. However, his decision unintentionally puts the lives of his loved ones in grave danger. The film chronicles the Corleone family, an influential Italian-American mafia dynasty. Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino, is reluctantly drawn into the family business and rises to power as the new Don. The film delves into themes of loyalty, power, and the consequences of violence. Number 5, Silence of the Lambs. Movie cast: Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster, Ted Levine and Brooke Smith. Silence of the Lambs is a gripping psychological thriller. The film follows Clarice Starling, an FBI trainee who seeks the help of incarcerated cannibalistic serial killer Dr. Hannibal Lecter to catch another serial killer known as Buffalo Bill, who skins his female victims. As Clarice delves deeper into the twisted minds of these criminals, she becomes entangled in a dangerous game of cat and mouse. With mesmerizing portrayal of psychological manipulation, Silence of the Lambs is a masterpiece of its genre. Number 4, All About Eve. Movie cast: Anne Baxter and Bette Davis, George Sanders and Celeste Holm. The film explores the manipulative world of theater through the character of Eve Harrington, an ambitious young woman. A seemingly timid but secretly ruthless ingenue insinuates herself into the lives of an aging Broadway star and her circle of theater friends. She schemes her way into the life and career of renowned actress Margot Channing. As Eve's true motives unfold, the relationships among the characters become increasingly complex and fraught with tension. All About Eve remains a timeless cinematic gem. Number 3, Lawrence of Arabia. Movie cast: Peter O'Toole and Omar Sharif, Alec Guinness and Anthony Quinn. Due to his knowledge of the native Bedouin tribes, British Lieutenant T.E. Lawrence is sent to Arabia to find Prince Faisal and serve as a liaison between the Arabs and the British in their fight against the Turks. This British officer played a crucial role in the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire during World War I. With the aid of native Sharif Ali, Lawrence rebels against the orders of his superior officer and strikes out on a daring camel journey across the harsh desert to attack a well-guarded Turkish port. Number 2, Casablanca. Movie cast: Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman, Paul Henreid and Claude Rains. Casablanca is a timeless romantic drama directed by Michael Curtis. Set during World War II, the film follows Rick Blaine, an American expatriate and nightclub owner in Casablanca. When his former lover, Ilsa Lund, walks back into his life with her husband, resistance leader Victor Laszlo, Rick is faced with a heart-wrenching dilemma. He must choose between his love and helping her husband, escape from the Vichy-controlled city of Casablanca to continue his fight against the Germans. Number 1, The Godfather Part II. Movie cast: Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, Diane Keaton and James Caan. The Godfather Part II is a gripping crime drama, serving as both a sequel and a prequel to the original film. It delves into the parallel stories of Michael Corleone's rise as the new Don and his father, Vito Corleone's early life as an immigrant in New York City. It traces the problems of Michael Corleone in 1958 and that of a young immigrant, Vito Corleone, in 1917's Hell's Kitchen. Michael survives many misfortunes, and Vito is introduced to a life of crime. It has stunning performances by Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.